It should be interesting, this one. Okay. Is
Hello,
somebody
Bashar.
snoring?
And to you, good day.
So I have quite a few questions.
Well, we'll see how many you get.
Yeah. I'll
Or
just...
maybe what may appear to be sometimes many questions is the same question in different clothing.
That is profound. Thank you. Well, I live a pretty miraculous, magical life for the most part. I follow my bliss.
Oh, for the most part.
And-
All right. I follow my bliss.
To the best of my ability.
All right. As long as you know it's to the best of your ability, then the rest doesn't need to matter. But go ahead anyway.
Well, so I have this pressing question.
Oh, pressing,
that
yes.
It's been kind of circulating in my life since the summer solstice.
Yes.
Which I know this year, 2015, has been a lot of planetary alignments and amazing breakthroughs in a lot of humans' lives. And for me, the summer solstice, I went to a Mayan ceremony where we had a sacred fire manifesting ceremony.
Yes.
And this guy came up to me and said, "Do I know you?" And there was this soul recognition.
Yes. On your part as well?
On my part as well.
All right.
But then the very next day, we went to this the Mayan medicine man who was giving readings and drawing out facial charts of what he does. And basically, the synchronicity came in where the same guy who came up to me came in right after me.
Yes.
And the medicine man was blown away because we had basically almost the same, well, a very aligned chart.
Yes.
And he wanted to see me after the reading because he wanted to tell me a couple of things. And when I talked to him, his eyes were huge saucers, like just
flying saucers.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Very, very galactic.
Yes.
And he had never seen it before, where someone or two people had come in back to back the way it was aligned that way.
All right. Well, congratulations for making his day.
Right. So anyway, but ever since then, we kind of started kind of hanging out and seeing each other.
Notice the
through Soul
qualification. Kinda. Why the hesitation suddenly?
Because there's like this
Then why not just say, well, we're exploring?
So we're exploring that.
All right.
And I guess it's been very unique and interesting as far as, I mean, I know soul family connection and very close, tight-knit connection.
All right,
but
well, that sounds all exciting, and so?
So this seems to be very different.
What seems to be different?
So you talked about soulmates earlier, and this almost feels like something different even than that. There's a definition that I'm having a hard time defining.
It's called a counterpart.
Okay.
You understand this term?
No.
Two aspects of the same oversoul who happen to overlap in the time frame of your physical life. You're meeting another aspect of your own oversoul.
That's what it feels like.
Well, that's why I said that.
So it's almost like when we're together, the energies of what makes up our physical bodies sort of mixes, and sometimes I have no memory of even being with him because it's like
you're operating on a different level.
On a higher level or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh wow. Can you tell me more about that?
More about it?
The counterpart thing.
Well, it's as simple as what we described. In other words, what you typically call past lives, future lives, you understand it all exists at the same time, yes? But sometimes when you're coming from a linear time frame, when you're saying, well, this life was in the past, this life's in the future, you can understand that some lives actually overlap in the same lifetime.
Oh, wow.
Because
so, like,
it's just different extent. No. Same lifetime span. The idea is that everything exists all at once, and even what you call a past life is just another extension of the oversoul, but it's experiencing itself simultaneously with you, but in what you call a different time frame.
Right.
But to the oversoul, that doesn't mean anything, because it's experiencing all those lives at the same time. It's just that sometimes you have different counterparts that overlap in the lifespan. And sometimes, not always, when you encounter them for different purposes, as you've arranged to do so and set things up for you, then you will have that recognition that they are, in a sense, even closer than a soul family per se, because they're actually another projection of the same oversoul that you are a projection of.
Okay. So I guess my other question on that then is, as a magical fairy romanticist, is this just me projecting my own meaning into thinking, like, because it's so unusual and unique, that I'm just exploring what the purpose is of meeting this person right
Well,
now?
the purpose, as we have already said, to every relationship is
To mirror a part of myself.
that you provide the reflections to the other that allows them to become more of themselves as they do the same for you. Period. No.
I'm going to have to stop him at that period. I have counterparts. I came with 2 counterparts. So I'm speaking from experience. I also worked with one of my counterparts. I had a recognition of him, but we were not like that close. I only remembered who he was when he wore a specific jacket, which is like an aviator, or like the jackets that people this there's this movie, man, I forgot his name, but a bomber jacket, yeah, a bomber jacket. He wore that, and that's when I recognized, or sort of like started feeling very weird, like I knew him, like I know this jacket, and I know this person in this jacket, and I feel some sort of I know this, I just know this is something that I know. I couldn't even like stay away from him. I just gravitated towards him in that jacket. I didn't say much. I just went close to him, and I remember looking at him, and I'm like, I felt like I wanted to touch that jacket, touch him, just touch. I was going to be very weird, right? But I think something stopped me, and he just looked at me, and I said to him, I love this jacket. It looks good on you. And he looks at me, and he's like smirking, and then I walked away. But I don't know about his experiences towards me. That was my, not that I didn't have any kind of recognition towards him all the time. We worked together for a long time. I mean, I had just joined the company, and he joined maybe like 6 months or so after me. So I've been in that company for 6, 7 years, if I remember correctly. And all that time we've been together, we didn't really know each other in that way, or being that close to each other. And only towards the end, father wanted us to meet, and he had me waking up, but I couldn't wake up. He was supposed to be also waking up at the same time, but we couldn't wake up. What I understand is that the comics also made sure that we never actually got to sit together and talk, because if we tried that, they knew that we were going to be able to recognize each other. So we were always kept at each other's distance somehow. But when I remember when we started working there, I came in earlier, he came in after. There's a time when I moved to his section or department, where I started working with him in the same department. And I remember him always being at my back, and I don't understand why. Like, I would feel this type of presence behind me, almost like sometimes wanting to even fall in it, isn't like something is pulling me back, but I'm trying very hard to pull away, because it's at work. We can't be doing that. And there was always this one specific person who used to have a very what kind of reaction can I call it? He would get angry and kind of like tell him off, like, you don't do that or something, but silently, so that I don't even recognize what was happening. But I could sense, it's like, was he behind me? Was this person the person who was behind me? And he used to be so fast as well. Like, he could come in and stand behind me, and then I would feel like, wait, there's something. It's not like you don't feel threatened. You don't feel like someone is behind you. It just becomes this sort of subtle calmness about it, that it's almost like you feel like you're home. I don't have to see him behind me. I just have to He just has to stand behind me and I will feel like safe. Like it's non-threatening. It's not the way people would explain it, to say like you just sense him, you feel him, whatever. But no, it's more like it's very calm, very gentle, very smooth, very non-threatening. You almost wanna fall into it, you know. And I know he's my counterpart. I don't have to be told by some shaman or something like that. How I know he's my counterpart, because I saw, I know he's my counterpart from heaven when Father got us together, as counterparts. And he's the guy when I say, I went to Father's office at some stage and I found him with these two beings on stretchers. They were sleeping though. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm working on your counterparts. I was like, my counterparts? He's like, yeah, these are your counterparts. And I'm like, oh. And then I get closer to see what counterparts look like. They're beings just like me. They look like me. However, this specific one is so beautiful. And I'm like, my God, it's so beautiful. I didn't say my God, but I just said, he's beautiful. Father smiled, right? And he, at the time, he doesn't know, but Father was busy working on him, right? And he had his chest open. The same way, and I say people think that they are, AI is AI. They don't understand. You don't understand how AI you are in the spirit world. So he was like lay down on the stretcher, both of them, but they were sleeping. And Father had them open, one of them, but just him, open on the chest, and he was busy working on him. And he says, yeah, you're also going to have to come in after I'm done with them so that I can, do your updates as well. So I move on to the next one as well to just see the other one. And it's like, he's also my counterpart. He's like, yeah, that's also your counterpart. And I'm like, my goodness, he's also beautiful. They were both beautiful in their own different ways. Father smiles, right? And at some stage, I'm like, do I need two? He's like, you need two? You're going to need more than that. But he's not saying it out loud, right? I'm hearing his mind. He's like, you think you need two? You're going to need more than that, right? And he's looking at the time, I didn't know, but I didn't see them. Not that I didn't know. When he says, you think two is a lot, you're gonna need more than two. And then he flashes his mind, or my mind, into the other place, like it's not a storage per se, but it's like another room somewhere else. And I get the feeling that there are more people lying in there, more beings lying in there, being updated, that is. So those are extra counterparts that he had been working on. And he says to me, I'm going to need you in as well at some stage when I'm done with these guys, and then I can do your updates for you as well. So I know that it's my counterpart. It's my counterpart. They are my counterpart. I mean, in a sense of counterparts are, they are programs like you, not like you, for instance. They are programs that complement your mission that you came here on earth for. I don't know what Bashar is talking about, these timelines overlapping and whatnot. So you would be coming here together at the same time sometimes, or being birthed in the same planet at the same time. My birth at this planet wasn't at the same time as them because, well, we kind of had a snag, or hit a snag during our traveling from here. I had to kind of run away from my counterparts because they had killed me, and I was upset with them, and I wanted to go on my own, and Father gave me that option. So I came running, hiding from them, because he, specifically the one that I was working with, he also followed me up until this point. We came running. I came running away from him. He came chasing me. When we entered this planet or this world, we got birthed. Because I entered first, I got birthed 12 years earlier than him. and I think my other counterparts got birthed here 24 years uh, later than me. So when we were coming through, the one who came in 24 years, about 24 years later than me, that is birthed 24 years later than me, he was actually the eldest, much older. And the one who came just after me, is also older than me. However, when I came here, because of I entered Earth first, I became the oldest, but they're actually older than me. So counterparts are parts of a program, the same program. We are part of a one program called Universal Law, and I am defragmentation, and my other counterpart that I was working with is actually antivirus, and the other one is a debugger program. And my other two counterparts, which Father didn't show me when I was still in heaven, are storage, troubleshooter, and recycle bin. So counterparts are not about timelines. They are about mission. They are God programs for mission purposes. That is, you come into an environment for mission type of purposes. You it's not everybody who has a counterpart. It's a it's a mission type of union. It's not a everyday kind of soulmate, let's be soulmate kind of union. No, it's very mission orientated. You come together because you complement each other, or you have to learn to complement each other, or you have to learn to complement each other to make up that one program, or you already learned to complement each other to become that one program, something like that. But that's us being here is also part of our own karmic lesson walking, to kind of find a way to get back to each other in such a way that we can become fully integrated with each other. I know my sister Elena has been going through her own sort of like spiritual walking. What I understood at the time, Father said Elena has been going through this for a very long time, but it's almost time for her and her counterparts to get it right. So I understand that it's something that takes a long time. There's many chances, many lifetimes, many failures, and you learn every time when you come with your counterpart. Sometimes you can make it maybe with one counterpart, two counterparts, whatever, but it's always it's much more I would think it's far much more complicated than a soulmate, because this is an integration of two programs. We have to learn to be defragmentation plus antivirus plus debugger plus troubleshooter plus recycle bin plus storage. So it becomes that is, the coding has to align. That is, the spirituality of us has to align. We have to align spiritually to make one spirit, one program. And that's how I understand counterparts. I don't understand this timeline thing, because yes, are we in the same timeline? Yes, because I managed to see him. Timeline, actually, not now. I'm not in the same timeline in terms of individual timelines, but are we in the same Earth timeline? Yes, because timelines are different. I could have a timeline, my own personal timeline, but Earth as well has its own timeline. The universe as well has its own timeline. It's not about timelines of some kind. I don't know also about this whole idea of parallel timelines, but I get where Basha is coming from, in a sense of Bashar knows timelines as something that he sees in where he comes from, in the testing environments where he comes from, where they test a program or a planet in different timelines, and he thinks that is what is implemented in production. However, it's not implemented in a parallel way. It's more like it just shows you progression where he works, where he comes from. It's actually a test environment for planets. So before Father implements planets, he sort of like implements them in a test environment as if it's like strips of land on strips of earth, right? For instance, let's say strips of earth. I think he has about 7 strips of earth, but then it shows you the progression from when earth is created up until the point where civilization starts blooming. And those different timelines, you might find some being able to not even when I asked Father, why does Bashar always think that people exist in different timelines? But then he showed me why. It was because you could be, Father, it's a test environment. So what Father did is he used the same set of testing avatars. What so far, so Bashar thinks that when he sees a being in another planet or another time, or not timeline, but another strip of land, another strip of earth, and another one and another one and another one, he thinks it's because they're doing that because of they're existing in different timelines. No, they just test in different timelines. It's just a test avatar, it's a test being for that environment. It's not that in on earth, in production, in live environment, you're going to live multiple timelines. Is that in that testing environment we reuse resources. I mean, if you've worked in a development environment, you'll understand that there's test data. It's like a test data kind of a thing. Those beings are like test data. Father was like, why would I create different ones? So it's like, let's say earth has 7 strips, like that is, it's like it's got 7 strips laying flat, right? It's actually not a round planet where he comes from, it's actually flat. Where those they you have earth in as if like it's peeled, right? And it's laid out straight, but earth is not there. They were testing other environments. I'm just giving an example about earth. They were testing different other planets, right? And you would have strips of earth in 4 or 7, about 7 I think, or 4. That one I don't know if it was 4 planets being tested, 4 planets each having 7 strips, or was it 7 planets each having 4 strips? This is where I get confused. But anyway, it would be in that way. So Bashar, because of his test environment or test person, right, in that environment, he thinks that what he sees there, it's actually timelines, as in like timelines. This is how it's going to be for every planet and how you live on the planet. But no, Earth has its own timeline and it moves from one timeline to the other. It makes choices of moving from one timeline to the other, just like you would have your own timeline and you will move through your timeline and make choices that would change you from one timeline to the other. It's one timeline at a time. It's not, you have many paths. It's not timelines. You have many paths, right, that you can take to change your timeline. You have many paths that you can take or decide to take to change or move into a different timeline. However, you live one timeline at a time. You have many options to go through your life. However, you can only choose one option and live that option physically, only one at a time. The other ones, I am having to live them spiritually because of I am destiny. I start at the end. I don't start at the beginning as everybody else. That is, I'm already done. I'm already implemented. I'm already upgraded. Everything that Father wanted to do is already done. I'm just walking the path. So the reason why I have to always have memories of what I could have been, what it could have been in terms of, had this I taken this route, I would have been this way. Had I taken that route, I would have been that way. Had I taken this route, it's because of I'm starting at the end. I started at the destination and I need to move means that I'm going to have to live each and every timeline. However, I cannot live every timeline fully. There's one timeline that I'm going to have to choose to live. The other timelines I live through memory. That is, I have to defragment their memory. I have to remember that, okay, this is where if I move with this person from here, I'm going to have to do this, this. And I remember this and this and this and this. Oh, and then it ends up this and this and this and this way. All right, that done. I've lived that timeline. That is my system. My program is essentially going into the system and breaking down that timeline that I was supposed to, that I can't live. It's just dismantling it. It's seeing it as it's not an exception. It was an option. So it's not necessary for me to live going forward. Let's pack it on the side. I've lived it spiritually as a program. My program lived it spiritually by remembering it and identifying it as one of the options that I could have lived had I started from the beginning just like everyone else, not at the end. So therefore it's not that it's a incorrect information. It's just that it's information that was part of my plan, but I don't need to use it anymore. So pack it somewhere where Father can decide whether he recycles it or what. So I have to do that. And I think Father is recycling them. He's taking them off so that I'm left with only a few parts that I can take. So that's what a timeline is. A timeline is not something that he's saying you're overlapping timelines in a way of you coming in with someone and you meet someone and then you overlapping timeline. No, if it's your counterpart, it's your counterpart. And how would you know if someone is your counterpart? It's going to be difficult. I can tell you for a fact that when I didn't remember that I was a program and I worked with this person for 7 years or so, I didn't know that they were my counterpart. I would have just easily excused it as we have something together. Not even soulmates. I wouldn't even thought we are soulmates. I would have just thought maybe there's something. If anything, I knew, to be honest, that there was something between me and him, especially from him, coming from him. But I just didn't see it that way. And what was the issue with it? It was because he's 12 years younger than me. And I was like, it can't be. It can't be that he would, you know. Okay, whatever. Maybe it's me. I actually thought I was imagining things. Until I had to wake up and started being sent through different things to notice certain things that he was doing or saying. And I remember thinking to my grossness, to myself, it's like, oh my goodness, he did have something. It's just that I squashed it because of he's younger than me. I just didn't see it happening that way. And then I had a vision at the same time when I was still at just before I left the company. Father tried to wake us, both of us, up, and he woke me up and it's like, no, he's yours. And I'm like, what? Mine? He's like, yes, he's yours. I think it was the time when he wore the jacket. Yeah, it was the time when he wore the jacket. Father's like, I was like, why do I feel like because I just left. I was going out. And then I saw him walking in, right? I was going to the door, he walked in, but I'm still far from the door and he crosses, it's like an open plan kind of area. He crosses the office area, the open plan office area, and he goes directly to his desk. And I'm just looking at this person and I'm like, I felt like I was somewhere else and I see something that I'm always used to seeing. It's like I was transported from that area to the ship where we came from. And I just followed him and I just started moving towards him. And then he looks at me and I'm coming to him and I'm like looking at the jacket and I'm like, this is a beautiful jacket. It suits you. I like this jacket on you. He was kind of like, I think, freaked out as well. Like, okay. I don't know where he got that jacket. I don't know. But that's the jacket he wore when he was still chasing me, by the way. He was still wearing that bloody jacket when he was chasing me here. I don't know if you'll remember it. Yeah, but they always wore those jackets. I don't remember what I used to wear. I never used to wear bomber jackets. I used to wear more like a coat, and it's probably a black one, a long coat. Because I wasn't like a mission type of person. Well, I was supposed to be some sort of a mission, but I was supposed to be here on earth, delivered here on earth to start doing my mission on earth, not necessarily walking my mission or doing my mission on the way here. But they were always like working, right? That is my counterparts. Anyway, that's what I understand about counterparts. A soulmate is someone who is going to be walking side by side with you in some way, on some level, through your spiritual journey, right? Because you it's you may need some people to help or assist you in a way to get your program to be in a certain situation so that your program can learn how to overcome or how to do or learn whatever it is that they need to learn from that situation. So your soulmate, you have types of soulmates. I think it was two that I noticed for me. You have your general soulmate, right? And it's a folder. It stores general soulmates. Okay, I'm burping and I nearly, okay, let me not say anything. You got general soulmate, right? And that soulmate folder, the general soulmate folder had family, friends, maybe even boyfriends and stuff, like people that I would meet on my soul journey, right? To so soul is actually a an okay. I need to defragment what soul is, understanding of soul is, because there is a thing called soulmate. So I think it's a very much physical earth thing. Anyway, in that folder you get people like that, your parents, your brothers and sisters, your your close friends, your boyfriends, people who would make some sort of impact in your life for your spiritual ascension, that is to assist you or to impact you in some way to how could I put it? Yeah, to affect your spiritual path in a way that it's supposed to be affected for you to be able to walk your path the way you're supposed to walk. That is, your mother could be there so that they can be your mother and mother you in such a way that you would become something or you would end up in a certain way. And so is everybody else, right? That's a general soulmate. And then you have another soulmate folder, which is just your normal romantic soulmate. I don't know, remember if I think Father said romantic soulmate. That romantic soulmate is the one that you're going to have an opportunity to not just be friends with. They're going to possibly, it's up to you still. They're going to possibly trigger you to be more of your romantic type of soulmate, right? You could even end up marrying them. Are they part of your mission? No, because they are your soulmates in a sense of when you start talking counterpart, you start talking mission. That is, a soulmate is someone that you came here to walk your path, your soul, not your path, but your spiritual path, right? And soulmate is someone to keep your spirit or your soul, if you want to call it, company while you walk your spiritual path. However, with the counterpart, it's a different story. Is that you need to come together. You need to come together because you have a mission here on this planet to do something. And at some stage, some way, somehow, you are planned to come together. Isn't like you're going to have to work together for something. You're going to have to, you are on a mission level. It's not the same as, oh, I'm just walking my path with you, keeping each other company. So let's go ahead, we can keep each other company until the end of time or the end of our lifetime in this environment. The mission one, the counterpart one, is very mission orientated. That is, there's a plan for you to end up in some way where even if it's not this lifetime, but you have to get to the point where you are together. It's I feel like it's much longer, right? In a sense of you could come lifetime after lifetime not getting it right. It's much more let me say, I wouldn't say complicated. Okay, maybe complex. Yeah, because for instance, take my scenario. For instance, my counterparts killed me. One of my counterparts kept feeding me this medication, thinking it's a medication, only to find that it's poison. And the fact that I told him this is poison, this is killing me, he kept forcing me to take it, right? Because of he thought I was crazy, because of I didn't want to be with them anymore, I wanted to move away from the ship or go back to the planet and marry somebody else. At the time, I had forgotten. I had a head injury that made me have a memory loss. So I forgotten that he was my counterpart. We were together like that. So this is where they said, okay, this person is crazy. But then they didn't know that the doctor or the medicine person who was giving them my medication was giving them poison. So he had them force me to take it, and they kept forcing and forcing because they felt like, I feel like they felt like if they don't force me to take this medication, I'm going to leave them, right? But what ended up happening was I had to like give in to the medication and I died. And when I died, father on the other end, father's like, don't cry, don't worry. And then he gave me options. Do you want to continue with them? Do you want to continue on your own, or do you want to come back home? And I said, I want to continue on my own. And I continued on my own until they found me. And when they found me, I ran. And as I ran, he kept coming and following me. I ran on foot. I didn't come here on a spaceship. I came here on foot, running across the universe, across galaxies, coming here. He too came the same way. I think only the other counterpart, who was still left on the ship, came with the ship. But the rest of us, the two of us, we came running. I would skip into another planet, another galaxy, get into another planet, stay there for a while, try to blend in and live there, and then he would be on my tail. He'd find me, still wearing the same bloody jacket. And he just kept chasing and chasing, and I would be like, ugh, not him again. And I would run, right? I would run and just open a portal, go running, and up until I got here. When I got here, I jumped about, I think it was about 4 galaxies or something like that before I came here. Is it 4? Yeah, 4 galaxies. And he decided to follow me. And it was such a big space that I knew that I thought he would understand that it's too far for him to catch up with me. But he was crazy enough to be like, I'm coming. I don't care. I'm coming. And he came. And just before he got through the portal, he hit his I think it was his left side. And he got hurt. And when he was born, he was born with some sort of a physical issue because of he had that injury. This is where father says to me, I'm watching and I'm looking for him. It's like, where did he fall in? Where did he fall in? Like, I'm trying to see which family did he got birthed into, right? Father comes behind me. It's like my father and my brothers were already on this side. And he like, father's like, don't worry about him. He'll be fine. Come, it's time. And this is when I'm getting to be introduced to the family that needs to birth me on this planet. And then there was the issue with the birth as well. So that's a story for another day. Anyway, your counterpart is a mission type of partner. If you have a counterpart, it means most probably you came here for a mission, right? A soulmate is that you're just doing your normal soul, or not soulmate, but spiritual path. That is, you have your purpose here. You're just doing your normal purpose. You're not necessarily here on some sort of a mission, right? Normally, I feel like what they said to me when I was waking up, when I was doing my karmic lessons, was that normally mission type of programs, or programs who come from mission type of purposes, are usually God programs. When we say God programs, we mean they are God warrior programs. They are warrior programs. That is, they are big programs. That is, they are mission type of oriented programs. That is, you don't just run them just because they do not your everyday kind of running, right? You run them for special purposes when you run them. For instance, I don't know if you can schedule debugger, but even antivirus, I think you can schedule it. It runs somewhere in there, but it does do its scheduling and runs a specific type of processing. You can schedule those type of things, right? But for me, I am I am switched on. I don't know if no. Now in your operating system, in the Windows current operating system, I think it's scheduled as well. But it's not me. That one is not my program. It's actually fragmentation disguised as defragmentation. So father said to me, don't even think about pressing that defragmentation uh, programming. But I noticed that they actually have it running automatically. I don't remember scheduling it. I think Windows already schedules it for you, or maybe I didn't remember, or what. I don't know if it's scheduled or what. But what it does is actually, instead of defragmentation, it actually fragments your machine. So for me, usually before, I used to be triggered. That is, I used to be opened and pressed start to run, right? I wasn't like a scheduled type of a program. Antivirus as well. There is some times where you need to like run him in some way where you trigger him to run. Same as debugger, I would think, and troubleshooter. Troubleshooter does is an everyday kind of program as well, although he is a God program as well. But even storage and recycle bin, right? So for me, I'm understanding counterpart a little bit differently now. I came with two counterparts, that is antivirus and debugger. However, I found my other under the same counterpart folder. There was a folder again which said soulmates under the same counterpart. Under the same counterpart folder, there was another folder called soulmates. So they are my soulmates. They are both soulmates and counterparts. That is, we have an option of just walking the path together, but we also can be grouped together. It's like this. When you look at universal law and you look at my program, and you look at antivirus, you look at debugger, we all need storage. We need to access storage and recycle bin to do our job. This is why he's going to be our counterparts, or my counterpart, right? And yeah, I think it's our counterpart. Similarly, I think troubleshooter also needs storage to be able to do his job. So he's also a counterpart. I don't know why I mistook him for being a soulmate, but he's a counterpart. And then with regards to storage and recycle bin, I believe they are twin flames. That is, they are storages, right? One does the recycled stuff and the other one does the the stuff that doesn't need to be recycled, the everyday stuff where everybody needs to live in. And I believe that Father separated one soul, not one soul, one spirit into two different spirits, but they actually share the same type of functionality. They work together. It's like, if storage is not there, if recycle bin is not there, storage is going to be okay. I'm burping, right? So I'm on the right track. If recycle bin is not there, storage is going to struggle, and vice versa. For instance, you can pack a lot of things in under recycle bin, even though it gets fuller quickly. Not quickly, but even though it might be like heavy, right? And at the same time, you can reverse things between both storage and recycle bin. Like, you can delete something and go and take it back from storage and take it back to where it came from. I mean, from recycle bin, and take it back into storage. And you can delete things from storage, put them in recycle bin. So they are like one program. They are both storage, but then they do different functions. This is why one is growing as a recycle bin and one is growing as a storage. But when they come together, they become one thing, which is a storage type of program, right? That is, that you can put them together. They go together because they are one person in different bodies doing different functions. So, spirit, twin flames. I'm not sure about the relationship about twin flames. I don't have a twin flame, even though some people might say something like they are my twin flame. I don't have a twin flame. I can't have a twin flame because of I'm too big as well. That is, Father says I cannot split both of the. I cannot split you and have two of you running in the system. The way you are, the way you run, and how big you are, you will bring down the system because it's just too much of processing and energy at the same time. If there's two of us running, right? So there's some programs you can't duplicate them in that way or split them up in that way. It's like it's only that's going to be there. Like you don't find a lot of defragmentation programs within your normal Windows system. I think even antivirus, you can't run both two different antiviruses in the same environment or the same machine. One is going to have to be, I don't know if it's switched off. Yeah, you can switch it off, right? Yeah, that's how I understand counterparts. But the timeline thing, where he's talking about the timeline overlapping, you and your timelines are overlapping. Maybe he means that it would be at the time when, because for instance, I'm not with my counterpart anymore, right? So maybe when we were together for 6 years or so, our timeline was overlapping, right? But unfortunately, we still didn't manage to realize who we are for each other. Only until the last moment, only when he started getting married, and I just lost it. I cried and I didn't know why I was crying for this person. I was like, why am I crying for this person? Who's this person? Father's like, he's yours. And I'm like, mine? What do you mean he's mine? Mine. Father's like, you want to wake up to remember that he's yours and you're the child of God. And I was like, huh? Or you're God's child or something like that. I was like, huh? And then I was like, whatever. I left, right? I'm going out. I was going to the loo. And I'm at the office at the time. And on my way there, I'm thinking, who's that old man who's talking and telling me he's yours and you're a child of God? I remember the same man, right? Father, is like getting so defeated. He goes like, I was like, wait, who's that old man talking about he's yours and you're a child of God? What was that? And I just left. Father's like, ah, man. Yeah, he was so defeated that day. Let's listen to some more.
No other assumptions or expectations need to come into it, because when you do that for each other, in service to each other, in love for each other, that way, no matter what happens, you will know that that is the purpose of the relationship, and thus you will allow it to be whatever it actually is, and whatever it actually is will manifest, not what you assume it needs to be.
Right. I've already gathered that.
All right. So just by letting it be what it is and using it for what it is, then it will go whatever path and route it needs to take and take whatever shape it needs to take. And it will happen automatically because you're allowing it to be what it is. And it will keep changing.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. So on that note,
Yes.
I have sort of another branch question to that. I've been meeting other people that seem to be a part of this oversoul, that are just very strong connections that are activating me.
Well, not all of them are, but this may also be one of the ways in which you happen to do things. Some people do that more often than others. Some people interact with a lot of their counterparts. Some people interact with fewer counterparts. Some people interact with none of them.
It just seems to be this year for some reason. Like, this is the
Well,
year.
this is your timing.
Yeah, okay.
This is how you're gathering yourself together. This is how you're getting reflections of different aspects of your consciousness so that you can start functioning more holistically as a more integrated being. Yes?
Beautiful, wow.
Does this help?
It helps a lot, thank you.
If you
She's
really want
lying.
an
It's
analogy
not
that
helping. She's lying. You know, people just say things like, "Oh yeah, I understand." I don't understand. Um, what I want to say is people need to understand that they are programs. And if you could understand that you're a program, and your program could be aligned or planned to or programmed to be working with other programs, this is where your union comes in, whether it's a soulmate or a counterpart or you're a twin flame. Then that's the next level of understanding yourself. But you have to understand what program you are. I only remembered who my count that they are my counterparts when I started remembering that I'm a program, when I started remembering that I'm which program, and when I started remembering how they also operated where we come from. Because when you start remembering those type of things, details about yourself, you're going to also remember where you come from. If it's a counterpart or not, you're going to remember because you must have been in some sort of missions together at some stage. All right. Or you must have been, let's say this was your first mission, you would remember when you're coming here for the mission, right? um, and that's going to help you to be able to see whether or not somebody is for you or not. And because of when you start understanding that you are a program, you also start tapping into the information that is stored within you for your mission. That is, okay, you are agent so and so coming onto this planet to do this mission, and your counterpart is this person, and they are going to help you do this mission in this way, right? And you're gonna remember all those things. But if you're going to be calling things um on such a high level thing and general way of talking, that is, you're searching for spiritual answers in a what you call in a seminar kind of a format, you're gonna get very general type of understanding or reasoning or explanations, and it's not gonna serve you because you are actually looking for a very individual kind of a understanding of yourself. And when you ask someone who's in a seminar like this, they're gonna give you an answer based on the fact that there are many people who are listening. They're not going to give you an answer based on the fact that they're trying to understand what program you are, why you came here, who did you come here with, when did you come here, how did you come here. They're not going to know those things anyway. And even so, Basha won't know those things. The only person who's going to know these things is you. It's between you and your God. Between you and God, the Creator Himself, and your ancestors. They're the ones who's going to be able to help you to remember who you are. And whether or not you have a soulmate or a counterpart or both or none, you're going to find that out when you're doing a proper spiritual understanding or remembering or awakening, because they call it awakening these days. Awakening, right? When you do that, that's when you're going to know for sure, okay, did I come here with counterparts? Who was my soulmate? Who was supposed to be my soulmate? And do I remember even meeting them? Like, I had to remember that, oh shit, we worked together. There's a point where towards the end, me and my counterpart, right? He sat on the desk opposite mine. We faced each other like that. Very, very close to each other. Very, very close to each other. And we never got to wake up to it. I never, to be honest, for me, I never felt like it was anything interesting in that way. It wasn't a wow, I had this feeling for this person and I was just drawn to them. No. All I remember is that whenever he was behind me, I used to get a sense of calm and peace. And as soon as he moves away, it's like, okay, why is it so cold? I don't know what it means. It wasn't like heat or anything, nothing over. No, it was just very gentle, very calm, very safe. I didn't feel weird. I only felt weird when somebody made a notice of him doing that and reacted to it, then I would be like, what's going on? What's behind me? Or who's behind me? What was he doing? This is the only time I got frazzled. But then when I noticed it's him, I was like, okay. I didn't take it seriously, to be honest. Only when I was awakened, I was like, no wonder he used to do that. He did get drawn to me in some way. I just didn't pay attention to it because I had this block as well, right? You would have a block to be like, no, it can't be my person. He's too this. He's not this. He looks like that. He's too whatever. That's another issue for me, is that I had an issue with the fact that, not the issue, but I just didn't look at him like that. I just didn't see him in that way. I saw him as a young person, you know. It's not to say that I minded it in that way, in a sense of saying, oh, he's too young for me, because I never even looked at him in that too young for me, except towards the end when I cried for him, when I cried for the fact that he was getting married. I found out that he's getting married, and I cried. And I didn't know what I was crying for. It was my spirit crying. And even when I said, so this is the second time when I said something like, um, what did I say? I can't keep crying for people that I don't know. I mean, he's not a prince. He's not this. He's not an angel. He's not what. He's not what. I don't care. And the angels cried. I actually heard the angels crying and felt them cry, right? And then when I walk past, Father comes through as well. It's like, he's yours. One day you're going to wake up to remember that he's yours and you're a child of God. And it's like, oh, whatever, man. I'm going forward, right? I'm walking forward. But angels cried that day when I wrote him off finally. It's like, I'm gonna move forward. But funny thing is, when I said he's not an angel, he's not a prince, he's not a what, but he's all those things. He might be all those things. I know for a fact that he is coming from royalty. I don't know if they would be taking it would be kind of like angel kind of a people. I think so. I do believe so. Angel type of, is it angel or God? Not angel, God program maybe. I was like, he's not a what is not. I used to say that about any person here on earth, right? I had no idea. I would be like, is he a prince? Is he a king? Huh? Is he an angel? Is he a demigod? He's just a man. That's me. I would be like that. I said the same thing about him. Little did I remember that, oh my goodness, he's not just a man, he is yours. He's your counterpart. And yeah, so let's listen to more of this.
We've given before, this is actually one of the perfect representations of what we call the shards of the shattered mirror. You're gathering the shards of the mirror together in order to have a whole, complete reflection.
What?
But you're getting a different perspective from every shard. Yes?
And there's quite a few, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few.
Thank you.
Does this help you?
It does so much.
Oh gosh.
All right, well, thank
She
you for
still
allowing
says
us
yes.
to reflect that to you.
Thank you.
I have to ask this question. What is this thing about gathering pieces of yourself and what is this whole ideas? Shards of the same mirror gathering. I don't understand why they always play the concept as in like you are scattered, you are living different dimensions, living what do they say, different lifetimes. I don't understand that. I don't get why they would go and mislead people so much to make them think that they should be looking for them. Now she's gonna go thinking that I have how many, I must, she already believes that it's like, and there are many. Meaning she believes that that mirror is so broken and shattered that there's so many pieces and some of them healed, she'll never be able to gather together. She already says, and they're many. Meaning she believes that shit. Yo, my goodness. You're not scattered. You're not living different timelines. You're living one timeline at a time. You may have different options of different timelines, but you only live one at a time. These people are telling you that you're living parallel universes or parallel existences or parallel lifetimes or parallel timelines, whatever it is. There's no such a thing. Basha is talking from where he comes from. That's the limited knowledge of what he knew. He only knew that environment until he got knocked out of that environment, went flying, and he deliberately got himself knocked out of the environment and went flying in the universe and ended up here. That's what happened to him. He only knows and understands the living that he lived on that place, where he says you live parallel timelines. No, that he was testing a planet. He wasn't testing the beings on the planet. He was testing the planet and also testing that the planet would be conducive enough to allow the evolution, the creation and the evolution of man up until a point where it starts to not need to be managed and flourished, and it can flourish on its own. And that's what they test. They test up until civilization is up until a specific point, and then father deems it okay to be like, okay, let's put it into production. That's it. And to, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know where these people are coming from.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
Good, thank you.
All right.
So first I just want to share that and say thank you for teaching me to tap into my highest excitement.
No, all right. But you taught yourself. We just simply gave information. You have to be the one to apply it in order to get the effect. So thank you for allowing yourself to feel the effect.
You're welcome.
I don't get this whole thing of, oh, thank you for this. Oh, no, you did it for yourself. Oh. Why do they always do this in these seminars? It's like, why can't you just go ahead and say whatever you want to say and let's cut this? Unless it's really like necessary. But sometimes I just feel like, man, seriously. It's just, maybe I'm not that kind of a polite person. Because I just start talking. I don't even say, hey, hello, I'm so and so. This is my channel. You see how people are very much what do you call it? Prepared. They prepare what they're gonna say. I don't prepare. I just come in here and sit and sometimes I start talking even before I start pressing record. I'm already like going through that meditation already when I press the recording. I cannot have this, oh, let me start going to YouTube and be like, hello people, I'm Destiny and this is my channel and thank you for for listening. No, I can't. I don't have time. Sorry. It's not about greetings here. I don't even remember us greeting each other in heaven. I don't remember us greeting each other. There's this father that used to say like he had to teach me the customs of humans, and this is where you spend so much of time doing these things. It's not that they are bad, it's just that sometimes you're adding too many layers to be tested against, and when to be tested and judged against, and when you don't meet them because you just don't have time for it, you're gonna be called, oh, that Destiny person, she's so rude, she's just starts talking and she's cussing and what because of you placed all this I don't know what to call them, right? And now these things are being used to judge you in a way of saying she's not doing this, she's not greeting, she's cussing, she's not talking in this proper English, she says things in this way and that way, and then people keep saying wrong. Well, I don't care. I really don't care. You can do that for yourself, right? Because I mean, it's your thing. What can I do? I can't do much for that. But when I'm listening to it, it sounds so pretentious. It's like, hello. I can't get over it. I heard it many times in these recordings of Basha, and hey, sometimes I don't know what he's doing today. He's breathing, or he's snoring. I don't know. Maybe, okay. Yeah. I have my own things as well, so let me not laugh at Basha. It's just funny.
Since I've been tapping into that, I shifted into a new career.
Oh, all right.
Been amazing, and just learning how to, go with the flow.
Yes.
With
More
whatever,
exciting, yes.
wherever my excitement takes me.
Yes. More exciting, yes.
Yes.
All right.
Amazing.
Yes.
And then I wasn't operating that way in relationship, and was doing a lot of work on it, and then I realised that I was just too afraid to tap into that
All right.
and trust that
Good investigating of yourself.
what was going to turn out. So I was fed up with not following my highest excitement and gave
Thank
into
you.
it like 2 weeks ago.
Yes, thank you.
And that same night I got a call from someone that I knew from 3 years ago.
How synchronous. Isn't that
Yep.
amazing how that happens?
How it works.
Yes,
And
that's
then,
how it works. If only most of you would believe that.
It takes a minute to get to that place. And,
Maybe. Maybe not.
sometimes. And then,
Messages coming through.
what is it?
Oh, you'll find out.
Can you tell me what it is?
Oh, you'll find out.
Alright. I'll trust.
Thank
I'll find
you.
out. You're welcome.
Why change that course now?
I know. It's awesome.
Yes, it is.
So then when I got the call from the guy, we ended up connecting, and I started listening to my highest excitement and following that. And we...
More messages coming in from
They're
different
all
sources.
coming in.
You seem to have very active guides.
I must do.
So,
And so then we went out on the Tuesday night, and we've been connecting ever since, and he's here in the audience tonight.
all right.
And we're just following our highest excitement, and
Well,
it
thank
just
you.
feels really amazing
To the
be
best
in the
of your
moment.
ability with no insistence on a particular outcome?
Yes.
Please do the whole formula.
Yes.
All
I
right.
kind of consider following your highest excitement as the whole formula. I just kind of wrap it into the one word so it's shorter. to
That's
say.
all right. It's just that we realize in having conversations with many of you that a lot of you use the first phrase but forget the rest of it.
Yeah.
So we're just making sure that you understand it's a holistic thing. Then you can refer to it however you wish.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's been amazing.
Oh.
Just wanted to share that.
Why, thank you.
And then I have another question.
Yes.
My mum passed away 4 years ago,
Oh, all right.
or transitioned, and I'm curious to if you have any awareness of what she's transitioned into, or whether she's still
Into spirit.
into spirit. Does she come into any other forms, or
Any other forms?
like another body, or does she stay?
Well, again, please remember that while that can be an experience, it's not actually mechanically what really happens. There's no such thing as reincarnation mechanically, because everything exists at once. If all lives existed once, how can you become another person? Do you understand?
Yeah, can you elaborate
But you
on
can
it?
make a connection to another person in such a way as to draw upon their experiences, and to you that would feel like a memory because of your linear space-time framework. But that doesn't mean you were actually that person. It might be another extension of the oversoul, but it still exists simultaneously with you. So you don't become another person. You are who you are. But you can have that experience as if you have. Because you are everything. Because you're all that is. Nevertheless, she's doing fine. One moment. Was she in any way, shape, or form artistic?
Artistic?
Yes, artistic.
Um,
Writing, painting, drawing,
She did
music, anything
drawings.
like that. Drawings? All right. So one of the things that she's doing now is helping someone creatively with the idea of illustrations for a book.
wow.
Acting kind of as a guide in that direction.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yes, it's fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
And of course, very aware of the fact that you have entered another chapter in your life. in the story that you tell yourself, of yourself.
Right.
So, illustrate it with beautiful paintings. Yes?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Will that do?
One more question.
Yes.
Okay, before this question, the reincarnation story. Hey, it's okay for people to believe that he could channel, right? Something like a being from another place, which could be a spirit place. That is, it could be high vibrational to the point where you could be most. They are on fourth dimension, I think. Basha and the. Is it fourth dimension, Father? Where are they fourth dimension? I have to remember if that the place where Bashar comes from was fourth dimensional or third dimensional. Okay, it's third dimensional. Oh, they pushed it in from my stomach, right? I just burped now because I said three-dimensional. I just burped after that. So they are coming from. He's coming from a third dimension. How is it he coming from a third dimension, Father? I. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You see, he can't upgrade it, Father. It was supposed to be upgraded. The test. This is a test environment. But he has to wait for that environment is anyway going to be destroyed when the upgrade of Earth happens, because that environment stole energy from Earth through Bashar's interference. So, because of Bashar is interfering with this planet's spirituality, that is, he's teaching you things that perhaps you're not even ready for. But in Pasha's case, he's actually teaching you low graded information, because he's teaching you things about what he sees in the spiritual world. So he's stealing energy in a sense of he thinks where he comes from it's superior to where you are. But in fact, they are on the same plane, on the same level. And the problem with it is that he's coming from an environment which is totally meant for different use. That is, it's a test environment, right? And you are in a live environment. He's coming from a test environment. So you can imagine the bullshit that he's going to spew, because, I mean, how good is the data in a test environment? Right? Because now he sees beings being in parallel, what is it? Did he call it timeline or something like that? Timeline. But when I spoke to fathers, like, why does he think that this is the same parallel? He sees people in the same different parallel timelines. Father says to me, remember when I was showing you, you asked that question even, because I had a tour of that area, and I remember saying, why is it that these people are the same? Father's like, yeah, well, they're test subjects. They're just for testing. Why would I spend energy on making them look different? It's like on one end, on another planet, this person is a Neanderthal kind of a person. On another planet, this person is very nice and, looking and, I don't know, just looking very different. In another environment, this person is a carpenter. In another environment, all those strips, that person can be, it's like a same set of data, same set of test avatar data. And that's what he thinks, that people are living parallel lives. They don't live parallel lives. And understanding that Bashar doesn't work on the top of that planet, right? It's actually a flat surface. It's not a round planet like ours. He doesn't work on the top of the planet. It's those guys who are working underneath the planet, who are keeping the spaceship type of, it's not a planet. Okay, you can call this planet a spaceship as well if you want to. But in their essence, it's very much machinery underneath, and it's floating in space. And he is responsible for keeping only a specific small little part working. He's like, Father called them what? They're like mechanics. kind of a program. They go there, they go there. He's like, you know, when you call robots, they go there same time, same place, same way, same thing every day. He's that kind of a program. He doesn't even have like, it's not to say that when he leaves his workstation, he doesn't have a life. They live in a, they do have where they live, but he is not as expanded as he claims to be. What he's telling you is telling you things about perspective from the planet environment. And I remember Father said, I said to Father, then how does he know what's happening at the top? He's like, watch. Then I watch him. He used to get he's one of those programs that just go out of way of doing other things. He's a corrupted type of a program, and he was instigated as well. So he would go up and get involved in what's happening at the top layer. That is just so he can see what's happening, and then he can come and talk about it. And he was instigated by Devil as well. So he's also like teaching you something that your environment, the third dimension, in the third dimension, and his environment is in the third dimension. So they're not spiritually the both environments are not spiritually ascended in that way, right? So there's nothing that he's going to teach you which is going to be of enough use in that way. And the problem with it is he's also teaching you information about a test environment when you're in a live environment. And you're going to this is why he has limited explanations as well. That is, he gives you the same, oh, just do it with the whatever, to follow the formula. It's going to be a formula. And guess what? Formulas don't work when it comes to spirituality, because you're a different program. You cannot use a formula that is being used by Basha, who's coming from another planet, which is a test environment, and use that formula on planet Earth when you're a specific program. When Basha is just that kind of mechanic kind of program, and you're not a mechanic kind of program, you're something else. You cannot go and apply that kind of formula, you know. And this is why Father cannot upgrade that environment, because he has to wait for Earth to come and reverse its energy from that environment, which is his environment, by the way, Father's environment, right? It's Father's test environment. So he has to wait until the reversal of energy from that planet, right, God comes back into Earth, and then that planet gets destroyed. Because I don't know if it gets destroyed. Yeah, I think it's going to get destroyed. It's going to get destroyed because it's not a, Earth is a far much more bigger energy requirement than that kind of a planet where it's a test environment. You know, test environments are not going to have a lot of data and all of that. So whatever Bashar stole from the planet is going to have to be reversed, and that might just be so much so that the planet or the spaceship or those, that whatever, doesn't exist anymore. Hence Father's building a new one close by, a new 4-dimensional one, which is much high vibrational. But the one that Bashar comes from is a 3D. The one that he works from is a 3D. Bashar won't be able to, he will be able to step onto the 4D when they migrate themselves to move from that platform to a 4-dimension environment. He has a lot of darkness in him because of what he's doing is essentially creating darkness in him. So he's not going to be able to handle that 4th-dimensional light because of he has been stealing energy and he's been doing things that his program is not supposed to be doing. So when he steps onto that platform, Father shows me him falling, him and a few others. I think they worked with him. After a while, he's going to influence other people as well to join in on this whole thing of let's sneak out and do this and do that. They're being sent, obviously, right? But him and I think it was 2 more others, right? That he what's the word? He kind of like convinced to get involved in this shenanigans of his with Uncle Devel, are gonna get into the stage where they, by the time they move, when you step on, because for them it's not going to be like Earth, because if it's a flat surface, Father just had a bridge between their old environment and the new environment, and they were so happy, right? Everybody's moving in, but there's going to be these four people who are going to have an issue with the light, and it's Bashar and his friends, and they essentially, when as soon as they walk into that light, they just fall to their knees because it's just too heavy for them, and they have to live in the shadow. The area, the planet where it's built, right? It's been overshadowed by the another platform where Basha and the type of programs that they do testing there live. They have like another platform on the side. It's like interconnected, but there's another platform on the side where it's just their homes, and there's another platform where it's their work environment, where it's actually those strips that I'm talking about of different planets in 7 ways or in 4 ways, whatever that is. But what I'm trying to say is he's teaching you from an environment which is not actually configured in such a way that you could mirror it in a way to say this is what's going to happen in life fully, right? And he is telling you based on things which are possibly even not about spirituality, because I said to Father, so where does he get the spiritual things, the spirituality things? Father's like, I don't know, because you see, this is very much physical things. We're testing whether the planet survives first level, second level, third level. Do beings actually get created? Do beings actually evolve? That's what they're testing, physicality of it, not the spiritual part of it. And Basha is busy here teaching you things which are very much physical, have nothing to do with spirituality, because it's not a spiritual world. It's still a third dimension physical environment. He's teaching you those things as if like it's coming from a spiritual environment, and it's not. And you take that, yeah, I understand. No, you don't understand. You don't. I can hear that this person is not really getting it. It's like a joke. They come in there and come up there and be like, Basha, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you. And such pretense and such act. And then, the energy, man. Where do they get the energy to do this pretentiousness? Come on. Oh, let's just listen to this and finish this defragmentation. I'm kind of tired of this.
So I did ayahuasca a year ago.
Oh, all right.
And when I was in that state,
Yes.
I got a message that I didn't need to do it again, and that it was.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to talk about her mother. I don't know if Bashar is really seeing her mother there, but what happens to you when you die, right? You're gonna die physically, by the way. That's it. That's all. Unless you are so tied to this place and you want to linger here in your spirit in some way, then you can linger here. But when you die here, you die physically. Your spirit still lives in the spiritual world, right? Whatever is left of it in this environment is essentially pulled back into the spiritual world. And what happens in the spiritual world? There's few things that could happen, right? If your mother or her mother was low vibrational and she cannot handle the high vibrational light of heaven, obviously she will get herself parked or goes to hell, right? But I call it parked because it's essentially what it is. That is, you go to hell, you have to work the job that you're supposed to do here in the physical world, where you have to learn to vibrate high and do what you went there to do, or what you came here to do. You're going to have to do that while you're in hell. That is some of your spiritual work or spiritual walking. You're going to do it while you're in hell, right? Guided by Lucifer and the people that work for him. However, when you do get to a point where you start being high vibrational enough, that is, You're so high vibrational that the low light in Lucifer's realm is becoming too heavy for you now. It's not the light that is given, it's the no light that is becoming too heavy for you. That's how you probably know that, you know what, you're not as bad as it is. That is, you're just feeling like you want to see some light. They do get out, by the way. Those who can handle, who are learning to be high vibrational, they can get out. They usually don't stay too long outside because the light is very harsh, but they can stay some time outside. And normally what they do, they work, when they do their work, they would be the ones who collect people who are stuck on the track on the spiritual timeline track, and are starting to burn because of they are so low vibrational that they have to be taken into a shade kind of a place. This is why you would go into that warehouse that Lucifer has, which is shadowed. It's shaded in, right? Because it's a warehouse. It's dark in there. They've got lights, like normal warehouse with lights. It's just that it's not out there in that harsh, high vibrational light. That's one way. The second thing that could happen to her is that she could have been okay in her vibration, and she dies, and obviously she moves to heaven, right? When they move to heaven, they get accepted, celebrated, even. You know, you did a great job. You know, you should go back again and try it again. And they even get served drinks, and they have a party that day or that night, and then they move back into what do you call it? The paradise. Whether they go, I don't know if they go to paradise, but there's an area in heaven where your spiritual self can live in your own spiritual home. You go there, you live in your spiritual home. The That's the one part. The other part is, if your mother's spirit and energy is tied to something on earth, that is, you did something or she did something to tie her energy on earth in some way, and she is very low vibrational to the point that even hell will not be able to be good for her. That is, she can't do anything. She has to sit there in the shadow because of her energy is tied to earth. That is, there's nothing wrong with her. Her vibration could have been fine had she not done something, especially with this witchy type of stuff. You know, these people who put their souls into things, some object, some book, something. You could find yourself, even when people are lying about you, like you did something and some people are repeating that type of lie about you, meaning that your life is your essence, not your essence, your energy is tied to earth. Much like Yeshua, where people say things like Yeshua died for their sins. They are tying his energy to earth. So if that's the case and you don't have enough energy, you're going to end up or she will end up in purgatory, which I feel like is the worst place to be. Because it's not to say that you have been such a bad person and you cannot even go to heaven. It's that someone, somehow is tying your energy onto earth, right? So be careful when you're doing all this kind of witchy stuff, right? That they don't put something about you in with something contained, and the next thing you leave here, someone is still having access to that little bit of something of yours, and they are doing some incantations and shit on them to draw your energy from the spirit realm into the physical realm. That's one way you would end up in purgatory. There's many other ways, but this one way is that the main reason is that your energy is tied into earth. Why it's tied into earth? There's various reasons. Where else can the mother be? She could have managed to, if she finished on the sacred timeline track and died that is, she mastered herself enough to finish at the end of the divinity layer or divinity end, which is where we all need to end up. That is, she's a god now. Then she will be able to go and have enough energy to be able to create her own stuff in paradise. Those people, I believe that they live in the paradise side of things, side of the spiritual realm. Are they okay? Obviously, they're okay. Everybody's happy. They have friends, right? They live. It's like another life, right? It's another life. No pain. No. What they do worry about, though, what I know is that they can worry about you, but they know that it's not good to do that. Meaning, when they worry about you, they still low vibrational, so they will stay not necessarily in the paradise section, but they will stay more in their spiritual homes, right? Because of they haven't gained the necessary spiritual knowledge to understand that it's not their business to worry about their children on earth, right? Not in that way. But this is how you also can tie your mother to the spiritual, to the physical realm, especially if you still keep hopping on the fact that my mother died 2 to 3 4 years ago. I don't know why people don't move on, because what you're doing, essentially, you are tying her energy into this physical world in some way, and it's not cool. It's not to say that you can't think about them. It's to say that you shouldn't be tying them in a way of, when you think about them, if it's in like a lovely way, it's like, yo, I remember my mother, yo, she used to dance and whatever. She'll feel that joy. You're not stealing energy from her. However, when you think about her and you talk about her, and it's in a sense of, oh, my mother, my poor mother, there you're tying her, you're pulling her energy from the spiritual world into the physical world, and that's not cool. And that's some of the energy that's going to be reversed, by the way. This is why I don't understand why people keep celebrating birthdays of dead people. I mean, seriously. Really? They have a death date now. Can you respect that? At least. It's like, it's my so and so's birthday. Let's buy a cake. Oh, okay. Why? Oh no, it's his birthday. We should celebrate his birthday. It's like, that birthday, there is a death day, That person moved on. So should you. And I know that we grieve differently. That's not a problem. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, be mindful when you're grieving, how you grieve in such a way that you don't pull too much energy from other people, even in the spiritual world. And be also mindful that that energy is going to be taken back. When upgrade happens, it happens for everywhere. Whether you're on the planet Earth or you're in some spiritual world as a spiritual being, that energy is going to be reversed. Even if you're dead, right, and you owe some energy here on this planet, it will be reversed. So don't think, oh, I'll kill myself and I won't pay any karmic debt. You'll pay it where you are in the spiritual realm. Then they have to shift you to Lucifer's place, or maybe purgatory, because of you can't handle both lights, right? Because Lucifer's place is still a little bit heavy, not heavy, but it still has some light. Purgatory is the one where it's a shadow world. It's very dark. Not dark, but it's like shadowed. There's no light there. You still see, but there's just shadow. So people might be like, oh no, I'm to avoid karmic debt, I'm going to die. Well, that doesn't help, because the energy is going to zap your energy still while you're in the spiritual realm. And number two, you're gonna get reincarnated to come back and pay it. Or number three, any little energy that you get, whether you're in the spiritual realm or in the physical realm, will keep being reversed. You pay your karmic debt through lifetimes. If you don't have enough for this lifetime, don't worry. When you get anything, we take back, reverse. So yeah, reincarnation. He spoke about reincarnation. Hey, again, I don't understand why people say reincarnation doesn't exist, but I got birthed in this planet from another world, not even from the spiritual world. Before the spiritual world, I was in another place, right? And before that, after that place, okay, I didn't get birthed again in another place. So I've been birthed one, if not counting my family, my home, my the spiritual world, just counting the physical environment. I've been birthed. I remember twice. Okay, father says there's three. I don't know if there's three, but there's another places where I've been. I just remember the last two, right? So I guess I want to say that it's not necessarily reincarnation being about being reincarnated to earth. It's more like you can have many different lives in different environments, different physical environments. That is, you can be birthed here on this planet, but you might have come through being birthed from a different planet before this planet. So I can say I do know reincarnation works because I remember myself living in one planet and I remember myself living in another spiritual world, and in just not even about the spiritual world. Let's leave the spiritual world. Let's talk about the 3D environment. I lived in the 3D environment. I got birthed there. My mother died when I was very young. I remember that, right? I remember coming to physical environment here on planet Earth and got birthed here. So all in all, I could count twice in the physical that I remember in the physical world. So yeah, reincarnation works. Reincarnation does happen. Now, when you go to the same, let's go back to the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, when you get into heaven, right, the heaven side of things, where now you're gonna go and live in your spiritual home or your spiritual paradise home or your spiritual, I don't know, normal place home, whatever you want to call it. There's also a left side to that place. You go right when you go the other way. On the right, on the left, there's a place, and it's I came to understand that it's part of recycle bin. But this is where you have energy. It's just energy in there. Pastel type of colored energy, very lovely, very beautiful, and there's beings who are talking there, and it's noisy, right? It's so noisy because it's crammed with people who need to come back and reincarnate into this world, but they are waiting for the vibrational light to come back onto proper light. They are waiting for many other things that are not working properly here on this planet that prevents them to come here. So the reincarnation environment is cramped with people. It's noisy even. One guy was complaining is that, like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to get out of here. I didn't realize that this place is so noisy. They are all waiting to be reincarnated. It's just energy floating, but you hear different voices. And here and there, you hear things like, I heard something like when I went there, mother introduced me. When my mother walks in, right, everybody's like, oh, Elohe, Elohe. Or Eloshi, I don't remember. Elohe, Eloshi, Elohe. And she's like greeting everyone. She knows everyone. I don't see who she's talking to. I just see some pink color, some yellowish, some blue, light blue. It's like pastel, rainbow type of colors floating everywhere. Oh, Elohe, how's your daughter? Oh, my daughter, apparently she gave birth and what. So they know about the stuff that you're doing here on earth. They keep tabs on you like that. It's like, oh, my grandson is going to varsity or something. They talk about such things. They're happy like that. But this is in the reincarnation portion of it, that these are the guys who are waiting to come back here. So yes, you could find an environment where you could actually talk about people being able to talk. But they're very bubbly, they're very friendly, they talk to each other, it's loud, it's like I was like, yo, I thought it was just me. For me, when I first went in there, it was fascinating. Most, especially the colors, right? It was very colorful, very beautiful. I guess it's the colors of different types of beings, but they're more in pastel type. And there's this person standing somewhere, and I can hear him complaining to this other guy. It's like, you know, I had no idea that this place is so noisy. And this is after two ladies walked past, right? Two or three ladies walked past. I could hear like they're wearing heels or something. And somehow you just know, you just sense that it's ladies. And they're like, ah, wah. They're like very chatty, very loud, laughing. But then this guy, I think he was referring to them. It's like, oh my goodness. You know, I had no idea this place sounds so like this place is so noisy, right? I can't wait to get out of here. Meaning he can't wait to be reincarnated so that he can get out of that space. But yes, they're okay. Everybody's fine there. Just like everybody can be fine on the physical environment, if we learned to vibrate high and live our lives just like the way we lived our lives in the spiritual realm, because it's possible. It's possible if we don't get ourselves too involved with this physical environment shenanigans. It's possible for you to live the same quality of life as you would live in the spiritual world. Yes, to some degree, in terms of you are still in the third dimension, right? You're not going to be able to do the fancy stuff that you could do in the spiritual world, but you can still be well as you can be in the 3D. So let's listen to this lady.
Kind of like, oh, okay, this is it. I guess I'm the universe, and it's just
at that
how
moment
it
that is
in
true
that
for
moment.
you. Because remember, the whole point of doing that is to become familiar enough with the state to simply generate it anytime you need to on your own. That's what the teachers teach you, how to not need the teachers anymore. That's why we're giving you all this information, to put ourselves out of a job. Because once you understand this information, then we can be friends and we can play, but you don't need us to tell you these things anymore because you'll already understand them. And you'll be living the way we do. Yes?
Yes.
And isn't that fun? All right. So,
So
you
I
have, obviously, the ability to receive the messages that you need to receive clearly.
Yeah.
So you don't need to ask, what was that message? What was that message? But synchronistically, you showed yourself that you receive messages all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, yes, but crazy good.
Yeah, crazy, amazing.
Yes, crazy amazing.
So I have an opportunity to experience that again. When I came out of the experience, I had a lot of fear around part of the experience. Felt like I got really confronted with the feeling of just being the universe and not having like another person to interact with. So I wanted to get some insight on
Change
that.
your definitions. Change your definitions, you will change your experience.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
Perfect.
May we address you, therefore, from this point forward as Crazy Maisie?
Sure.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Crazy Maisie.
Love it. Thank you.
Good day.
Good day.
Or should I say, good eye?
Good day, mate.
All right.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
We have a few questions from our Ustream listeners.
Yes.
So one of them is, if you cannot perceive what you're not the vibration of,
Yes.
then how can enlightened masters exist on the same version of Earth that people of much lower vibrations do?
They don't. You're seeing a version of them that is applicable to the level of reality that you're on. Because you have an agreement in your reality that you can see at least a part of them as the example that you need to perceive to see the light within yourself. But you're not seeing all of them. And they are choosing to allow a part of themselves to be viewed to contain a part of themselves that is relevant for that vibration. Otherwise, it would be pointless. There would be no interaction at all. So what they've accepted is a definition of themselves and a definition of reality and a vibration of reality that contains the ability for you to perceive at least a portion of each other, the portion that is relevant for what the exchange needs to be. But you're not perceiving all of them.
So we exist within a bandwidth, and
Yes.
in a sense, you could say like they're lowering their frequency or inversion of their
They
frequency.
contain
They
a lower
contain.
frequency that creates a relevant representation of them for those on that frequency. But it's only a portion of how they experience themselves.
That's bullshit. Why would you want to do something like that? Why would you want to waste your energy for somebody else to perceive you? What is Bashar saying exactly? Oh Lord. When you're high vibrational or you're low vibrational, it doesn't matter. You're in this planet, which is a 3D planet. Right now, 3D is not as 3D as it needs to be. That is something that we're going to have to accept and work on. But talking about high vibration and low vibration, I'm in a environment where I could say I'm high vibrational, but the beings that I'm with are not exactly high vibrational, right? That is, they're still low vibrational because of the things that they do or the things that they care for, right? Or how they operate in life. However, I perceive them. They perceive me. They might not be able to understand me because when you vibrate high, for a low vibrational person, they're not able to kind of figure you out in that way. That is, when they see you, they will see you in their low vibrational way of seeing. That is, they look at you as to what is it that you're doing in their environment. When they see you, that will confirm for them the low vibrational stance they have about you. That she's sad. She must be sad because this didn't happen for her. She must be feeling angry and whatnot. She's lying. She's pretending. That's what they would do. Whereas when you're high vibrational, you see them, you understand them, you see them that's what they're thinking. And you're able to play even because you could almost be like, I'm just gonna go about it this way, and let them think whatever they want and they'll find out otherwise. Or you could be so high vibrational that you don't even stay there to see it. I don't normally. Here's the example. So my family, in order for me to move forward, to move out of this environment, what they keep doing is every Sunday around a certain time, they go and make sure that whatever was supposed to happen next week, which I don't know how they see it, but I'm believing they're using probably tarot cards or something, or perhaps some other way of understanding what's coming for me. They go there, they wait until Sunday, they make sure they understand what they're going to do, they plan around it. They go there, they try to stop this thing from coming to me that week, right? And then when they talk, they're like, yeah, you can see them. They're like, I usually give them their space and move. But as soon as I come back, right, I don't notice a lot of things until I notice a certain intensity and a certain behavior. And I don't mind it because I'm not in their vibration. I don't read for such things because when you're high vibrational, you're not going to care why someone all of a sudden is so happy and chirpy, even though you notice it. Like, oh, okay, at least you're not thinking bad things. You're just thinking, oh, at least she's cheerful today. And you leave it at that, right? However, as you go through the day, you realize that cheerfulness comes with some sort of menace as well. Like the way they talk to you, the way they taunt you, it has changed from what they were like in the morning. And then I realized that, you know what, this person changed again because she does this every time when my uncle comes back. This is my grandmother, that is. She changed again this afternoon when my uncle finally came back and they were talking. They were whispering even. I wonder what it is that he told her. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But whatever it is, it made her so happy that she feels now that she's got so much energy to continue to push her taunts to me and her curses and her torments on me. And I'm feeling the intensity and I'm like, where's this coming from? She wasn't like this morning. why is that she's attacking me again now? And she's laughing about it, right? When I see her, she's laughing, she's smiling, she's doing all kinds of things. I was like, okay, fine. I know how to alchemize this shit, and I'm gonna go and alchemize this shit. Yeah, I go, I play my music, and I go and, do some online shopping, and I'm singing, and I'm having fun, and I'm happy. Then you start seeing her drop her vibration far more because she was a little bit happy about the fact that they have done something. I'm not even picking that up. Fast forward, I'm already washing dishes. It's towards the end of the night. We're going to bed. It hits me. These people went again, remember. They do this every afternoon, Sunday. They go, they change something which reminds me, I need to do my cards for the next coming week. They changed something for the week, for the next coming week, and they were sure that whatever they did was fine. It's going to work, right? So I'm laughing. I start laughing myself. I'm like, oh my goodness, they didn't. Because I've seen the cards, right? And I know what that is. I know what they're doing. And I'm like, whatever, man. I don't care. I just have to wait my turn, and what needs to happen will happen. So I'm not even bothered by it, right? And I start laughing. And I start even reading further to it. And I'm like, but these people, they just do something so, oh goodness, they just hit me on the head now. Painfully so. It's because of what I'm talking about. And I'm like, they went and changed this thing. Or they are attacking me now because of what I'm saying. They went and changed this thing. I don't give a shit whether they hear me or not, or whether they like what I'm saying or not. And I'm like, okay, oh my goodness. Ooh, they're throwing shit at me, but it's fine. So I'm looking at it and I'm laughing at them, and I'm like, they can't be serious. Like, the way they were so happy was amazing to me. Like, I, I could study that. You could have somebody studying that shit. How low vibrational karmics get so excited about something that they have no surety of. And they get so happy. It's like these people never learn. They have no capacity of learning. You can keep taking them through the same lesson over and over again. They will never learn it. Never. It's almost like they refuse to learn. Not that they can't, they refuse to. So I'm looking at them, it's like, what is it about this part that makes them think this is going to be different? They've been doing this since, and it keeps going downhill ever since. But today they still do it, and they get that excited. So excited, right? Like, it's almost like these people are receiving $1 million soon. And I'm like, even if they did receive $1 million or R1 million or whatever dollar, whatever, I bet it's going to come with a lot of headache, right? Because that's what usually happens with them. And I usually say to myself, oh my goodness, they managed to do this. I wonder how this is going to backfire. Because I always ask myself, because I've seen it. It always happens like that for them. But they never learn that it backfires almost immediately. So I leave it at that. So this is the thing with high vibrational and low vibrational being in the same space. What you're going to experience is you're not going to experience low vibrational beings just only if you're low vibrational. The universe doesn't work like that. Why? Why would you think you're high vibrational and you're such a goody two shoe you don't belong anywhere near low vibrational beings? Goodness, I burped, meaning I'm right. What do you think the universe this is a low vibrational kind of talk again. The universe is not that low vibrational to make you feel like just because of you think you're high vibrational, you're not going to be around low vibrational beings. That in itself tells me that you're already low vibrational. That in itself tells me Bashar is a very low vibrational being. That thinking of you're going to be separated by your vibration. So it was Kala at some stage, then money, then this one, and then the all these other things. Then the next stage is what? Vibration. Oh, they're so low vibrational. We don't want them next to me. Guess what? You're going to be the one who's grouped with them. High vibration does not care for that shit, right? But what you would find is when you're high vibrational, low vibrational beings cannot stand you. And because they cannot understand you. And because they're not going to be able to deal with you, that is, if you're so high vibrational that their taunts, their torments, their tricks, whatever they try on you don't work, they eventually walk away. They find somewhere else to play. That's what they do. But for me, I can't do that because of these ones have a mission, right? They need to, this is why they want to see me the way they want to see me. And that's okay. I don't have a problem with it. But when you're high vibrational as well, you're going to see them, but you might not even mind them so much because it's like, why waste your energy? Why drop that low with them, right? You'll see them and you'll move forward. It will be like, okay. You won't even call it low vibrational. You'll just know that your spirit doesn't want to play in that level and you just move on. And similarly, on the low vibrational side, they might try to play with you, but as soon as you keep your high vibrational stance, they're not able to reach for you. So they try, and eventually they're like, too much work. Let's find somebody else. And it's not to say that you're not going to see low vibrational beings when you're high vibrational and vice versa. There's no such a thing. Where do you think this planet is going to be divided in order to keep the low vibration to the high vibration? Yeah, at some stage there might be that kind of a scenario where the light is so bright that it has to be made special areas to be low vibrational for beings who are still low vibrational and still working on themselves to at least be able to learn how to vibrate high. And when they're ready to step out into the light, they can test it and step out when they are ready to. Because some stage it might happen in that way that you might find that some beings are not ready to move on to the light, but the light is there. So certain areas might be not high vibrational too much, just like in the spiritual world, where it will give you enough time for you to still work on yourself and vibrate high. And it's a very easy thing to vibrate high. It's not an issue. You just drop this type of low vibrational thinking. You'll see how high you're going to go. So there's no such a thing as, and even the question, goodness, the questioning. Who asked that kind of a question? Why do we still see high vibrational beings and let me think about another scenario. So what she's essentially saying is that let's say Basha is the likes of Yeshua. What she's saying is that if Basha was high vibrational and she asking that low vibrational question, she shouldn't be able to even perceive Basha. That's what she's saying. She's saying she thinks by attending some seminar, right, and asking some questions which are low vibrational is high vibrational. That question is a low vibrational question, and the answer too. And this is where I'm saying, I keep saying something like, when karmics or low vibrational beings come up with a conversation in a low vibrational way, don't go pick that question, that topic up if you cannot elevate it, right? Don't touch it. Just don't even don't even respond to it. However, Bashar has to respond in this kind of a setup, but he was low vibrational as well. His answer is low vibrational because he's actually saying they will only allow a portion of themselves which you can see. And it's like, are you dividing energies now? Are you saying they will divide their energies? What are you saying? How are they? So it's almost as if like some parts of them will be low vibrational and some parts of them will be high vibrational. Or is he saying you're going to only notice their low vibrational stuff? It doesn't work like that. Just because of your high vibrational does not mean you don't have any darkness or shadows inside of you. You can still be high vibrational and still keep some darkness in you or keep some low vibrational shit in you. But as you drop those low vibrational stuff, you become higher and higher and higher and higher. And this is why I have the idea that you're going to be so high vibrational that you can come into a seminar and ask such a low vibrational question with the idea that I could be high vibrational. Am I gonna see low vibrational people? Why are you even having that question in the first place? It shows your low vibration. This is what I'm trying to say, is that I'm not trying to beat on her. I'm just trying to make her understand that if she were to look at herself in a similar way, that question is a no-no in a high vibrational type of way. That is, you're not going to separate people or divide people or see people, whether they are high vibrational or low vibrational. You're going to see them and they're going to be like, oh, they're going through their thing. And you're not even going to notice it because it's not your place to notice such things. You're going to mind your own program. And how did I notice my grandmother today? I just saw her. It's like, oh, at least she's chirpy today. And I left it. But did I notice that there was some shenanigan going on with her? Some low vibrational shenanigan going on with her? Guess how I did it? I noticed it because of they were now busy fragmenting me. They were now affecting or interfering with my programming. And that shit, I'm interested in it. That shit is my business. This is why I start saying, why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling so itchy? What are they doing now? I wasn't feeling like this in the morning. What is wrong with her? And I sat next to her. She went on and on and on until I decided to leave her. And I was like, what's wrong with her? She doesn't have energy. For her to be using her energy in this way, I'm asking myself, where did she get the energy? And then I remembered that she was talking to my uncle in the afternoon. I was like, okay, maybe my uncle, she managed to siphon somehow from my uncle and she's using them. But then I understood something else. It's like, no, she's too chirpy as well. It's not just about the energy. She's too chirpy. What were they talking about? And then I remembered, oh my goodness, it's Sunday. They were up to their no good as always. Whatever, man. And from then onwards, I just worked on it. I just decided, I'm going to alchemize the energy. And I started listening to music and started dancing. I was actually having a fun time. And I was like, you know what? I even did my cards wearing headphones today. It worked out well. I could understand what I was reading. And I was like, why do I always forget to wear my headphones whenever I'm reading cards? But anyway, yeah, there is no such a thing. You're not going to be separated from low vibrational beings. They might separate themselves from you, right? But high vibrational being doesn't work like that. You don't separate yourself because of the people are low vibrational. Yes, you might be like, this place, I want to move to a much higher vibration. I don't have time to work with them. But it won't be in a low vibrational manner. It will be that your program needs an environment that is conducive for your environment to vibrate high. It's not going to be about them, that is they and me, or them and us. It's going to be like, you know what? This place does not suit me anymore. I need to move out. And you move out, right? But most of the time, you'll also see that low vibrational beings are not going to handle you. And also, you must remember, when you vibrate high in front of these people, you're also helping to shine a light on them. One or two of them is going to pick up their vibration as well, watching you. You're affecting them. That's what it's called, being a light. When you're lighting their candles, right? So we can't expect this world to vibrate high if we're going to separate people based on high vibration and low vibration. It's not going to work. We need you to be in around low vibrational environments and vibrate high enough to help those environments vibrate high. You can't call yourself, oh, I'm so high vibrational. I'm not going to talk to these people. I'm not going to see them because of their low vibration. That is low vibration in itself. They're going to be fine when the light comes. You are the one who's going to be burning with that kind of mentality. You'll be like, how? How did they not burn? I always go back to this example that Father gave me. It's not an example. Father, when I was young, he comes to me, he's like, I want to show you something. And I was like, what? He's like, look at this picture here. Like, not picture, but this is Earth, right? And he shows me Earth. And I'm seeing beings. I'm even seeing my ex in there living his life. He's skinny and all of that. And he says, this is the spiritual world. And I see him, and it's like, who's that? It's like, it's him. It's your friend, your soulmate. And I'm like, why is he so big there? He's like, this is before. He's not like this now. I'm like, oh, he's a giant. He's beefy. He's just strong man, a warrior kind of program in the spiritual world. And I'm like, okay. And then it's like, you see how he looks now um in this world, in your current earth now. Is like, yeah. And it's like fast forwards and shows me how he looks in the spiritual world on the sacred timeline. Wow, he's so skinny, he's so old, he's so weak. And I'm like, what happened? Father says it's the light. And I'm like, the light? What do you mean the light? It's like the light is too low. That's why he's like this. He's Father said, he doesn't realize it, but I think he was dying. Even at that age. We are young here on this planet Earth at the time when Father was showing me. But him on the spirit world, his avatar is an older man, much older than me. And Father's like, it's the light. He's losing his energy. At this rate, Father fast forwards. There he goes, and he's even getting confused. It's like when you get low vibrational, you even you get confused. You don't know which way to go. He's getting confused there on the sacred timeline track. He doesn't know whether he should go left, right. He's just confused. And then Father says to me, and then this is earth as well. And he shows me another earth layer. And I'm like, okay. So he says, what's the difference? And I'm like, this one is at night and this one is daytime. And he's like, no, it's the same time. I'm like, no, it can't be. You see, this one is dark, this one is very bright. Father says, no, it's the same time. And I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, you're watching this scenario at the same time. But I'm like, it can't be the same time, Father. There's no people here in this light one. Here, there's a lot of people moving about. But here, there's not a lot of people. And he looks at me, he's like, that's because they didn't make it. I'm like, what? And I'm like, where is he? Father says he didn't make it either. I'm like, shit. I start crying. Father's like, don't cry. You can still help them. You can still help them. Are you going to help them? This is when he had to make me kind of he was giving me a pep talk, basically, to say you're going to have to do what you need to do to get to where you need to get to, even though I'm cussing my way through it, right? He said to me, you're going to have to do what you need to do to get to where you need to get to, because if you don't, this is what's going to look like. It's earth, it's beautiful, it's bright, but there's few beings. And guess, I'm going to go forward. The beings which were there, Father helps me, makes me hear what they're talking about. They don't know what happened. They're like, something about when that light came. Oh yeah, they did say the light. They're saying it's these two women. They're like, yo, when that light was coming, I thought, I was sure that I was going to go. It's funny that the people who survived are not the people who we thought are going to survive it. These are the people who were called all kinds of names in the community, who were seen in some kind of way. Oh, this one, she doesn't want to be with people. She thinks she's better. She's always staying at her house and what. That is the program that minded its business, that was treated like there's something wrong with them because they just don't want to get interfered with and interfere with anybody. Those are the programs that survived. The programs of where people used to call them, they're not such nice people just because of they don't just go around and agree with anything and gossip about everybody. Those are the programs that survived. I was like, what? It's like they were so sure, most of them, that they are gone. It's worse to the point where Father shows me how they lived before, that the society used to shun them in a way. However, these are the beings that survives that light. But they are not so happy even. They're not happy because not happy, but they're still okay. But it's like, despite the fact that people used to treat them in that way, they still feel loss, right? Father says, they can't keep talking like this because it's gonna drop the vibration again. We're gonna need to go in there and make sure they maintain their high vibration. That is coaching them to think differently going forward. Because they're talking about things like, I lost a lot of people. Oh, the other one is like, my whole family is gone. It's sad. It's sad. Even I had tears because, and I was a child. I couldn't understand how so many people could. It's almost like on the same street, right? Let's say the street, I don't know how many, 70 houses or something like that. Everybody was gone in those homes. There were like one or two few Marys who got left behind, and maybe John there. It's like the same street, there's only 3 people left. See, I don't want to remember. That was one of the, it's not a nice vision to remember, to be honest. Because if this shit doesn't work out, then if people don't wake up and people don't, it's not about even, you don't have to find to remember your program. You just have to drop the crap, drop the bullshit, drop the BS. See it for what it is. Some of this information that Basha is giving you is BS. Drop that shit and start focusing on yourself in such a way that you start dropping the shit within yourself. Don't worry about what other people are doing, how they're doing it, when they're doing it. Don't worry about your mother who's dead. Just, if you're going to talk about your mother, be aligned with them in a spirit form, in a sense of, is she your ancestor? If she is, she'll be there. You can talk to them in that way. Right now, Basha, if he is telling the truth, maybe the mother is the ancestor to somebody else in the family and helping someone else in the family, but not necessarily the same program as her. That is, you could find that your father, maybe your parents, right, are not with you, but they're both not your ancestors, in a sense of they are both not guiding. They're not your ancestors. They are your ancestors, but they're not your spirit guides. Why? Because you need a master to do something like that, in a sense of, you need somebody who's walked that path. So your father might have walked it, but not in a way that you needed to walk it. So spirit will get you an ancestor who's going to be good at teaching you. It could be your uncle, for instance, instead of your own father. But they would be there, but they might be focused in another place, that is focused in a different program. Maybe your sister or your cousin, someone else like that who needs, it's like matched in a way that it helps the program, where the stages of that program needs help with. That is, sometimes you might be guided by your parents, sometimes you might be guided by your great grandparents or your grandmother, whatever. But your parents might guide their grandchildren, something like that. So just because of they're not part of your spirit guides, it doesn't mean they're not there spirit guiding other people or other programs. And they're good. They're ancestors. They have a lot more work as well. We are all having a lot of work to do. And we remember, when we upgrade or elevate in this physical environment, the spiritual environment also is doing the same type of work. They're also fixing their own ancestor issues with us. They have to. Because if they still have some shadows and all of that as well, you can have shadows even when you're in the spiritual world. But it's not like that deep shadow. It's actually not shadows. I would say issues, programming issues. Like maybe you can't process certain things like that. They're also growing with you. They're improving with you. They are upgrading themselves with you. Anyway, let's finish this one.
And that's sort of the representation of the 51% positive idea that even though we might be in a dense reality at this point, we still can perceive higher vibrational beings and information.
If you let go and align with the idea of the 51% flow, then yes.
So, well, that makes a lot of sense, but it also gives a lot of positive, I guess, hope that people can expand and
Yes.
move in a direction where they can become those same masters.
Where they can know that they already are. That's how
Right,
you become
on another
one.
level.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very good. Okay, and what's the true nature and purpose of unrequited love?
Unrequited love,
Yes.
there's no such thing.
What do you mean?
If it is unrequited, it isn't love. It's expectation. It's not allowing the relationship to be what it is. It's not accepting the love in the form in which it actually comes in that relationship as being real enough, as being good enough. That's the only thing that creates the idea of unrequited.
I
Is
thought
you're
you
not
said it
really
doesn't
paying attention
exist.
to what it is, you're only paying attention to what you expect it to be.
This is the part about wanting your life to be a certain way and not accepting the way in which you actually manifest something.
Yes.
And not looking for the way to use whatever is presented to you in a positive way.
Correct.
Rather than using it for, in a sense, it's self-diminishment, right?
Correct.
That's what gives the person who's experiencing the unrequited love feeling that sad feeling.
Yes, because the real unrequited love is that they're not loving themselves as much as they could. That's what's unrequited.
Hmm?
And they're simply getting a reflection of that.
Right. So the other person's also reflecting to them that they don't accept themselves and they don't.
Yes. The unrequited factor is within the person experiencing unrequited love, not in the other.
Why do humans get so extreme about?
Because your world is a world of extremes. And how are you going to have mastery if you're not willing to experience the extremes? You can only get mediocrity, not
Yeah.
mastery. To experience mastery, you have to experience the extremes. Yes?
I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
so sure
definitely a
about that one.
positive way to look at
It is. One that we would highly recommend. Because it has so many more benefits to it.
It does. It does. And this last one,
Unrequited love. I don't know. I have had such cards coming out for me. Well, for me, in a sense of I would be not accepting any offers from anybody. And I'm gonna talk about myself why I wouldn't be doing that. This is my counterparts, by the way. So these counterparts I have had a run-in with, and I have lived with them before, in another lifetime. I have been here with them before, and we had to do certain things, and we did that. However, I managed to learn my karmic lesson this time in this lifetime, and we had been failing over and over on many lifetimes with the same karmic lesson, but this time I went ahead and learned my lesson. But for them, they didn't, right? So therefore they missed the opportunities, right? They're Four of Cups. They missed their opportunities, and when they miss their opportunities, they're going to realize only after the fact, missing the opportunities, that missed opportunity was essentially separating them and their timeline to go differently from my one. That is, it separated us. Where they were supposed to join me and come to me and we move in the same timeline, we're not going to get a chance to do that because they didn't come on time. Meaning, when they don't come on time, the contract is cancelled, first of all. That is, the spiritual contract that we had is cancelled in this lifetime. And therefore, I need to move somewhere else. I need to do something different. Else, if I go with them after the contract has been cancelled, it means I'm also failing to learn my karmic lesson. And this is why I would reincarnate again, coming back here, because I'm not learning lessons that I need to learn. Even though I would continue some positive way, maybe we live happily ever after, even. It still is not what Spirit wants us to understand, because that also changes my direction. Where I needed to finish off somewhere else, I'm not going to finish because I keep going back to this person. Instead of going forward, I keep going back to this person. So a lot of my counterparts are essentially cancelled their contracts. So this is one of the things that people need to understand, that just because of somebody is your counterpart or your soulmate or your, I don't think twin flame you can cancel contracts with. But just because of your counterpart or soulmate doesn't mean that that contract cannot be cancelled, right? Especially in the lifetime that you're in. That is, you need to learn a lesson differently, or somebody else needs to learn their lesson. So I have this card that comes out and it says, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's the Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups or something like that. And it says unrequited love. And I'm like, I'm laughing about it, right? It's not to say that you wouldn't have loved, I wouldn't have loved these people if they came through. It's to say that I love myself more, and I'm not going to take that bullshit going forward again in this lifetime. I'm done. I want to, and I'm ready to explore other options, other ways I could finish my process and my programming, right? Are they going to come through? Yes, they're still going to come through, but they need to go and learn their karmic lessons in a different way, not with me. In their own different timeline. They need to go through what they need to go through in order for them to understand themselves better. And me going back to them, trying to be with them, forcing it, would be, even after it failed so dismally again, I'm not doing them any justice. I'm not doing them any favor, because what they're essentially doing is they're failing to get an opportunity to go through their karmic lesson properly, learn what it is that they've done and what the impact of that is and what it looks like for them going forward. So they have to go through their own karmic lesson in their own way, because I did mine. I learned that, you know what, these guys, every lifetime, when they're supposed to come for me, when they're supposed to come and not in a sense of rescue, but in a sense of aid me, in a sense of assist me in moving forward, in a sense of I did my part. That's defragmentation, therefore it's time for perhaps what's his name, I don't know, maybe someone else needs to do their part, until we get this whole system right. Because if it wasn't just me as defragmentation working, and there were many other programs out there doing their program work, doing their spiritual work, not talking about spirituality, but doing their spiritual work, that is doing antivirusing, doing debugging, doing troubleshooting, doing whatever recycling and all of that, if they were there and doing their job, their load wouldn't be so heavy on you. Why? Because they were supposed to run before me, by the way. I was supposed to just come and finish up, be a lady like that and finish up. But because these people are delayed, they are diverted as well, like misdirected. They allow themselves to be misdirected and go elsewhere. What is happening now with me is that I find myself waiting and waiting and waiting for these people, but they never really come. And it's not the first time, it's many lifetimes when they're doing this. They don't come last time, they're not coming this time, and I'm not going to answer for that now. I want a different life. I want a different ending. I'm learning my karmic lesson and I'm moving forward. When they join me, they'll join me whenever they join me. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not to say that you don't love the person or you can't love the person. It's to say that sometimes it could be different reasons why that unrequited love is there. It's because of you're not in the same space, you're not in the same time, you're not in the same place, you're not ascended in the same level where you could come together seamlessly as counterparts or as soulmates or as whatever it is that you think you can. It's like the timing is just not right. Like I get another card or someone else gets another card. I think it was the King of Cups who says bad timing. That is, they missed their time when they were supposed to come through. They didn't come through. And as a result, they have bad timing. And what does that end up as? Three of Swords. Broken heart. Because I cannot take them and go with them anyway. I can't take them anyway. If I choose them, right, it means I don't choose myself. And if I choose myself, it means I choose myself and I choose my mission. And if I choose my mission, it means, in a way, I'm not saying I'm choosing Earth or my project here. It means that I'm giving this planet a new chance to be able to move differently now as well, because I left these mofos behind to go come walk on their own. That is, we're not going to keep going back and forth because of some lovers are busy being played with by the devil. Imagine, oh, why didn't you go to fourth dimension? Oh no, this time God found Earth, right? But destiny just kept going back to this what's his name? These divine masculines, because of they just got delayed by the devil every time. I'm not going to take that kind of momish of the existence cup. They can take it themselves. They can take that. I'm taking the victory card. I'm on the chariot. I'm going forward. So that's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes it's not to say that it could be that the timing is not good. It could be that that person is not for you, right? And sometimes it also means that you maybe need to do that walk alone. You came, you presented yourself. If it wasn't for that person being otherwise, you would be with them, but you walk away and you don't know what you're going to find. And this is the thing with people need to understand when it comes to these love things, right? I don't know about others, but if I'm talking about me, what I've seen is that Father does help you to find another way of living. Okay, I'm burping. Yeah, okay, meaning Father does. He agrees with me. He still finds you a perfect partner for your program. And just because of somebody's your soulmate or your counterpart many lifetimes ago doesn't mean that fucker needs to continue with you going forward. Let him go and sort himself out. When he's ready, he'll find you in another lifetime. Erika Badu style. Seriously. We're leaving these people behind. What are you going to do in this environment, in this low vibrational, with these low vibrational beings? Choose yourself. Move forward. I'm choosing me all the bloody way. I'm choosing myself. If I meet someone and he's good for it and we just walking soulmate wise, that's cool. We're doing that. Father can always update your counterpart folder or your soulmate folder with a new being. That other one doesn't need to be removed either. But I said to Father, please remove them. I don't want all of them. Their contracts are cancelled. And I keep hearing, not exactly in a sense of, maybe in terms of relationship, romantic relationship, but I still need them for the mission. Right? And I'm like, I don't want to see even their faces. I think I'm going to calm down to that at some stage, but I am calming down to it. But I really don't want to see their faces. I don't want to hear their excuses again, like last time. Last time they did have an excuse. They came through, and they are late, and they just expected me to go with them. But because of I didn't know, right? I'm young, and they are. That's the thing. Is like I'm spiritually young, and they are kind of like mastered in a way, but not really. They just came there. They're like, okay, we're here for you. Let's go. And I didn't know about contracts and stuff, and spiritual contracts, that is between programs, not the devil one. I'm not talking about devil's contracts. I'm talking about spiritual contracts that you make with your ancestor, not ancestors only, but the spiritual beings who are going to assist you here on this planet in order for you to be able to learn and ascend, right? So yeah, um it's unrequited love, I guess, but at the same time when you look at it, it's like, why are you dragging yourself through the mud like that? Maybe it's not time for you to with that person. You just move forward and find yourself elsewhere and do something different and focus on something. I don't know why, but I'm so excited of meeting someone. If there is someone, I'm actually more excited not even meeting someone. I'm excited to be single, sexy, and successful. That's what I'm excited about. I don't give a fuck about these people. I don't care happens to them. I know what happens to them is going to be good for them, and that's fine, right? But what they do, it shouldn't have to involve me, because I want my space and I want my peace, and I want to just be joyful and excited and enthusiastic about life, and not being bothered by someone who's carrying karma. Because if I go back to them as well, is that I'm essentially also carrying, helping them carry their karma, because they are going through karma. They're going to go through karma, right? So, what I'm trying to say is perhaps it's not your time, perhaps it's not your person. And if it is, you'll find out. You'll still meet your person. God will still make it for you. It's just that whenever we have someone, or God gives you someone, you always have this vision of your that you made up in your head to say it's gonna look like somebody like this or like that. And perhaps you're missing these people because you're busy chasing a person who doesn't really respond to your love like that. But the person that you're looking for might be the very person next to you. And that's a karmic lesson as well for you. You're going to learn what you need to learn from that experience. Why you have to break your own heart so much every time. Anyway, let's listen to the rest and
The
finish.
person is asking, how can I be a part of the Bashar family in person when I live on the other side of the world?
The other side of the world? But your world is a tiny little ball floating in space. The other side is a relatively close distance. Again, it's about trusting the synchronicity. And the very fact that you have been able to insert a question here, no matter where you are, means you are suddenly part of the family, doesn't it? You have many paths and many ways to know that you are part of the family. And you have just demonstrated that to yourself.
And whenever we experience the frequency that we associate with you, it connects us all.
Yes.
Also.
Yes. Because that is what our frequency is all about. Integration, connection, community, love, support, joy. Yes.
Well, we certainly appreciate the love that you give to us, Bashar.
As we appreciate the journey that each and every one of you are also on. Is it time for your holotope?
It is.
Well then, we shall allow you a brief intermission so that you may arrange your holotopic experience, and we will return for a guided meditation to help lock in these ideas for you with that particular permission slip today, if that's what you would prefer. Take a brief break. We will resume the transmission shortly.
We're not coming back for that. Anyway, uh, the the description of this video says Basha explains the difference between soulmates and counterparts, channeled by Daryl Anka. I didn't really hear much about counterparts versus soulmates. So this is where I was today. These days I'm getting these descriptions which are very misleading. You think, you look forward to it, and when you get there, it's like, huh? And it doesn't even like get close. Well, maybe she did say something about counterparts, but also it was about more timelines and whatnot. He didn't talk about the difference between soulmates and counterparts. He talked about why the person is meeting a soulmate or a counterpart at the same time or timeline more, but never really went into what the counterpart is or what a soulmate is and what's the difference between the two. So for me, I feel like I think I have touched on what the many times, many meditation sessions I have been going through the soulmate and counterpart thing. And I do know that Father wouldn't do this without me understanding it, because of he would make sure that I have that experience. That is, I know what a counterpart looks like. I know what a not just looks like, but I know what a counterpart is. I know what a soulmate is, and I can figure out what a twin flame is and all of that. So every experience that I've had during my programming or preparation of my mission gave me insight into what a soulmate is and what a counterpart is. And essentially a soulmate is anyone who walks near you when you're doing your own spiritual soulmate walking, right? And oh my goodness, they have a hole that they made here on the front of my head. It's so painful when the car comes. But yes, sis. Anyway, they wanted to disrupt me. And your soulmates can be different. They can be romantic or they can be general, right? Most of the people that you have in your life, your family, your children, your brothers and sisters, your friends, or your close friends, your sometimes even your colleagues, they are your soulmates. That is the general soulmates, right? And if you're going to have romantic soulmates, you're going to know that as well. But I remember my program, so I know what's saved under my program, what my soulmate is or who my soulmate is. I don't know how you're gonna remember your soulmate or how you're gonna remember your counterpart, whether you're going to have some sort of a memory stored that how they look like or how they feel like. I don't know, because I was near my one. I didn't really have that kind of a feeling, except for I didn't even have like when I actually had the feeling that I had when I really realized that something is wrong. But something is going on. During that time when he was getting married, after I cried so much, unfortunately I had to go to a meeting with him. It was his project and I had to accompany him for that meeting. And I had already agreed, right? And we were going there and we got into the lift and I started sweating. It was just the two of us. I started sweating. And now it's like I was crying and I didn't know why I was crying. Now I'm in the lift with this person. It's just the two of us and I'm sweating. It's like it's so hot. I'm like, what the heck is going on with me? Then we get out and I actually wanted to let him go on alone in the lift without me. But then he waits for me. I'm like, damn it. This is the second lift we have to get. We go from one building to another building. We have to get to another lift now and go up that building. And I wanted like it to be cramped so that people can go in and I can be left out so I can go and do my own lift. I think he even left the lift and then waited like for another lift with me. And I was like, damn it. And then we had to go and again. And I'm like, he seemed to be fine. That's the problem. He seemed to be doing okay. And I was on fire. Like, I was on fire. I wasn't sure what was going on. I was sweating. Like, I don't remember sweating like that. And not only sweating, anyway, let me just leave some other things. But after that, again, I'm in the ladies' room again. Before I was in the ladies' room, the same day, the ladies' room crying because I just found out that he's getting married. I didn't understand why I did that. I just reacted like that. I wasn't really feeling any type of emotions, but it was deep. Right? It was so deep. I don't cry. I don't really normally cry. But that was like, what the heck is going on? You know, when tears you can't even like manage them in a sense of you don't even know where they're coming from. You haven't seen them in a very long time. And now all of a sudden you got tears. And you felt that way after this person said they're getting married. And I'm like, why would I have an issue with it? I'm not thinking that, because I'm like, my thinking is, I don't love him. It's not like I love him. It's not like me and him even talking that way. It's not like we're that close. We're just colleagues. And I only started working with him recently. Why would I even feel this way? But now I come back, I go back to the office and I'm like, what the heck is going on? What is this? And I think this is actually the time when we came back from the meeting. After me coming back from the meeting, I went to the ladies again to just sort myself up, and then I left and I'm pep talking myself, and it's like, this person, he's not this, he's not that, you're not even feeling anything like that, and anyway, you don't care what. And the angels cried, and Father said to me, when are you gonna realize that this is your person, or he's yours, and you're God's child? And I'm like, aren't we all God's child? There's somewhere when I said, aren't we all God's? What does he mean? I'm God's child. Aren't we all God's child? Oh, and then I left. God's children. Aren't we all God's children? And then I left. Father's like, I can see him. I can see him in my mind. In my mind, I'm having a vision of him going like defeated. Like, and I'm like, whatever. I don't know what I'm seeing. And then I leave it there. Whenever Father visited, he visit, but I don't keep it after that. After he leaves, I don't remember. Right? I remember some things, but the funny thing is I don't find it so weird that, although I haven't seen that when he came back this time, I hadn't seen him in that way in a long time. Anyway, yeah, so I would understand counterparts from that angle. I would understand soulmates as well from the way they saved them in my folder. So Father said, you leave these people, you're going to find who you need to find. And sometimes you don't need to be with your counterpart or your soulmate. You just need to be with someone who can still walk with you on that path. Maybe a new type of soulmate, maybe a new soulmate, not from your contracts. You can make a temporary soulmate contract, I guess. I don't know. Or you can add on to your soulmate contracts. Just the problem is this environment has went so low vibrational that most contracts are sort of like not valid anymore. That is, they were made at a time when people were okay, and then people went and made different contracts with different beings. So they broke most of their contracts. So meaning that you might have to re-sign the contracts. And this is why you can't just come into that person's life and be like, oh, okay, I'm here now, let's be together. Because that person is probably going through something that sort of like forces them to be with somebody else or not to be with you, because you possibly maybe missed your contract time. That is, when you're supposed to come, you didn't come at the time when you needed to come, or they didn't come at the time they needed to come. So essentially what is happening is you still trying to honor a contract that is cancelled, and perhaps you need to redo a new contract because they might not trying to be honored, because somehow they know deep in their soul or in their spirit that I don't have to answer this contract. I can feel that there's some sort of connection, but I don't have to answer this contract. I already signed a new contract somewhere. But Father did say that we're going to get an opportunity to do new contracts when the time comes where it is necessary. So don't be so sad about it. It will come. Heck, I have like 5 counterparts and all of them are off. Perhaps you have one that's still like available. For me, do I wish that it had worked out? I can't even even think about that scenario. It's more like yeah, it would have been cool, right? If one of them survived. But it would have also been that thing of it would have been difficult for others as well to come through. So now they're all on the same level. They all have to start from scratch. Is there anything else, Spirit? I think that's it from my side. Thank you, Spirit.